Hey, it's Sarah Jane, and I might be a little shaky today. I forgot my tripod and I'm just sitting on this beautiful green grass here and bringing you your Tuesday dose of true nature medicine. So if I'm shaking a little bit, it's because I'm resting my hand on my knee. But anyway, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Send me some love and some hearts and tell me what you're up to and what you're choosing today, because I want to talk a little bit more about clarity today. How can we ever get more clear than looking at the magic that's showing up in our life and also our business. Hey, nice to see you, Tash. Yeah, so easy, effortless living is what we're all after, just to feel better. And I remember when I first started practicing, I wasn't having easy or effortless. My business wasn't fully aligned with the message that I so wanted to share. And I really struggled to make things work in a very consistent way that would gain momentum. And I was working around the clock trying to make things happen. And I believed in my message, but I don't know, I was just working way too hard. And maybe you are right now, where you kind of think you don't know how to change it. But for me, I realized that running my business was like pushing a boulder up the hill, and I don't think that's very much fun, is it? So I just wanted to let it all go and get more aligned. And yet maybe you can relate to being stuck in a version of that where you're wondering how you can spend more time with your family or just stop pushing yourself so hard, because we're so hard on ourselves, aren't we? It's like we're always pushing ourselves to do more. And I know I bought into the crap that I'd learned about, that you had to work hard for your money and you had to work hard to get ahead and no pain and no gain and all that other crap. Hello, Cecilia. So yeah, maybe you're wondering what else is possible, that it doesn't have to be that way. Hey, Victor. So yeah, I'm ready. I don't know about you, to really help you to move out of the struggle of how you're creating your business. And I've just noticed that my reach has become so much greater, and I'm working less in my business and more on it, and not feeling wiped out and exhausted anymore since I got into the online space. And I don't know about you, but everywhere I go, people have been really sharing stories about how chaotic life is right now, that they don't even know how we got to be in March, and they don't feel like they even got out the starting gates yet of 2017. So, you just have to turn on the news, don't you, to talk to your neighbor or scroll through Facebook to just see how much chaos and crap is going on out there to distract you from the task of living your legacy. And I think the message is very consistent, that there's a lot of us feeling a little lost or unsure or not as clear as we'd like to be as to where we're heading on a collective level of humanity. And so many questions coming up, about how you can raise your child like I am, that is sustainable, and the politics in America, and also this insidious thing that's going on in South Africa where they're debating, this whole land invasion thing, where actually they're just been killing farmers for the last 20 years. And who would we be without the farmers growing the crops and putting food on our tables? And I've been asking, how can I expand into what I'm wanting to do and what I'm being called to do? And maybe you're looking for greater connection in your relationship, and maybe things are feeling a little bit overwhelming. But when I look in at my own life experiences at the moment, there's been no shortage of change, and I feel strangely calmed and comforted knowing that I'm not alone in asking for a better earth, and that together we actually are raising consciousness through our questions, through our inquiry. And we are, I believe, really starting to amplify and quicken a new feminine economy, where we're creating a win-win for everybody, including the animals and the planet and nature herself. Hello, Cesar. So, I think we're given in every moment an opportunity, aren't we, to rechart our trajectory in life and set our sails for our true north, and ask more questions about how do we move forward into a future that is brighter and better. And looking at, are you going further down a path that you're excited about, or maybe one that you're less than happy about right now? And what can you do to get clear on what is required for you to get aligned, and know that you have the option to orient yourself a little bit more in where you're wanting to go and how you want your life to look, and in the interconnection of relationships and financial abundance, where we're creating economy on our own terms, and the freedom and the time and the energy and the imagination that we all desire more of. And what most of the people that come and see me in my practice have in common is that we all just want better lives. We want to contribute more. And how do we make sense of it all? How do we come home to our hearts and know that everything is exactly as it's meant to be right now? How do we lean in and trust that more? And the biggest question that I ask myself, and that I get asked all the time, is how do I create more clarity? Especially when I think I don't know, or maybe you don't know. And the thing is, you do know. And if you believe you have something to share with the world, don't say you don't know. You don't have a technology problem. You don't have a money problem. You have a clarity problem of who you came here to be, and what is it that you really, really want. Maybe it's clarity of your value and your worth in the world. And maybe you're doubting who you came here to serve, or how you want to serve your clients. And what if you could just start looking at that, going inward to that deep, fertile listening ground of mind shifts, of looking at what is the gap, what is standing between you and your dreams and your potential and your fulfillment. And what if that is just that murky space of not choosing, of indecision, where you end up waiting and you're putting things off, and you're also putting yourself at the bottom of the pile of what do you want, because you're so busy giving everybody else what they want. And maybe you're afraid of being too loud, or making the wrong choice, or failing publicly, or of self-promotion, or maybe of just standing out and finding your voice in the world and using it to tell the truth. And maybe you just keep going round and round because you're afraid to leave the comfort and the security of the tribe, and the judgment of other people's success or your own success. So maybe you find yourself doing nothing right now. Like so many of the people that I talk to that are finding themselves in a place where they're choosing to do nothing. They're paralyzed, they're shut down, and they're moving between should I not, what if I do, what if I don't, and they're moving back and forth, exhausting themselves, going round and round, trying to find out who they are and where they fit in this reality. And I think that's when we start making choices, don't we, on fear or quiet desperation. And, clarity is the key. Without clarity, we are fooling ourselves to think that things are going to get better, because we need to take action from a very clear place to reach our potential. And, excuse me. And when we do that and illuminate what we want, other people get to do that too. And the whole world heals when you heal. So we need to push the edges and take risks and get out of our comfort zones and stop choosing to not choose, and react and respond and get sick and tired and self-sabotage and shred ourselves up. And that's really where the powers that be want us to be, predictable and manageable and powerless, to think that we don't have a choice to create our lives on our own terms. And you know what? This is it. This is the one chance we get to create our lives on our own terms. And don't forget to take time to appreciate what you have. Celebrate your wins. And ask for more of those. Remember, inch by inch is a cinch, yard by yard is hard. And so many of my friends are choosing to simplify their lives. They're packing up their belongings. They're unburdening. They're taking their money out of the bank accounts that are supporting things that are like big oil conglomerates. And you know what, we're not, as a species, we're not supposed to stay in the same place all the time, and we're supposed to lead from alignment and resonance to something that's bigger, that's waiting for us. And I think that's the restlessness, that's the depression, where I certainly have been more than once. And I know that when I have withdrawn from making those big choices, I go small, and then I have to take a moment to push pause and feel into the places that want to come through me, that feeling of quiet internal peace, and just sit there. And there's a beautiful poet, David Wagoner, he calls it here, this presence that is really calling you into being more of who you know and who you came here to be. And he wrote a beautiful poem called Lost, and he gives instructions about what it takes to navigate here. And this is where here requires us to push pause and just surrender and look at where life is asking you to trust in your nature and let nature support you and find you here. And he always talks about standing still, the trees, that nature is always there, always showing you where you are, that you're not ever really lost, and you certainly can't really lose yourself if you just answer the call and go there and treat it with the respect, with the honoring of a very powerful stranger that's only strange until you say hello, and then it's not strange anymore. So ask permission to know it and be known to it, and just listen to the call and know that whatever you are leaving behind you, you can always go back. It never goes away. It's always there if you want it. But go there into the here, because that's choice, and life's calling us, and it is time to go into uncharted waters, because the forests know, the birds know, the animals know that they are here as you are here, and we have to let the here find ourselves, don't we? So when life is feeling a little chaotic and maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed, just remind yourself to return to here, that space right here in your heart. And I know that as the more that I have been sort of surrendering control and stop trying to be this superwoman and get everything done at once and keep going, and just trust that I'm here in my heart, right here, that life is really inviting me to slow down, to unhook, to simplify even more, to minimalize, and appreciate the magnitude and the beauty of everything that is supporting me right now in my here. And I can feel myself coming alive in a whole new way. And I want that for you too, because we can't know the future. All we can do is live into the experience of being alive, of being in this moment, and trust that where we are is here. So if you find yourself feeling a little overwhelmed or scared or lost lately, just remember David Wagoner's advice and just be still. Push pause and let life find you right here, right now. I was so blessed yesterday to meet the most amazing man who was wise beyond his years, who was telling me some of his story and how he just shows up and he shares what he knows, and he spreads his magic through his own life challenges because he can. And this was the guy who I thought was going to help me with my investments, and we ended up having this incredibly deep conversation about what life wants us to be in the here. And I don't know, it was just one of those beautiful moments where I just found myself crying in his presence because I felt so safe and held and supported, and I'm just so grateful. So here's some love for you, Ian Feinstein, for holding that space of here for me, to just remind me I've got this, just as you've got this, and to celebrate your wins as I'm celebrating mine, and to just be in more deeper appreciation for the here and the now and the presence and the gift of nature and the animals and the people in my life, and stop getting so caught up in the doing of that outer expression of what we've been programmed to think that we need to do to be happy, because happiness is what makes us successful. That's success. Success doesn't make you happy. Money doesn't make you happy. It's just a resource to be better and have better and give more and grow more and gain more. So I hope you join me tomorrow, because I'm going to be speaking to another beautiful man, Monsefa Kerr, on his summit on Thursday night at 8 o'clock South African time, and I'm going to really go deeper into a conscious conversation with him about how we can go into the shadows and see the blind spots and get out of projections and assumptions and really return to our nature, return to moving into the compass directions of the ancient medicine wheel that really gives us the clarity and the direction when we just surrender and follow it and trust that the universe has us. The nature wants us to thrive, and I would love you to join me. So I'll post the link below, and until then, or until we next have another Facebook conversation like this, let me know what's going on. Let me know where you're pushing pause, where you are simplifying, where perhaps you are minimalizing your outward expression of what success needs to look like, and just unburdening, just cutting yourself some slack, pushing pause, taking a breath, and staying in the now. The here and now is all we've got. So let's do this thing, and let's create a brighter, better, more beautiful future, just as these children are, just playing for the sake of playing. And I'll see you on the other side. Lots of love. Bye. Mwah.